Live. You're live. Hello everyone. I'm Santiago, and today I'm gonna be testing Crysis Remastered on Steam. How are you guys doing? On the 1050 Ti, 570, 1650 Super, and at the end the 750 Ti. Thanks to Crytek for providing a code for the game. So before starting, I need to mention something that Crytek told me on the email. Just something to mention. The game is now out on Steam today, September 17th. They did many optimizations. They told me in the emails. There's now an experimental RT boost mode, which I don't know what it does. We're going to test it out. They also said, again, they improved performance. We'll find out if that's true. They also made a lot of tweaks and added the Ascension level, which wasn't present on day one. And it was an Epic Store exclusive. Now it's on Steam, so good, finally on Steam. And I also was told to tell you guys that right now on launch on Steam there's 20% off if you want to get Crysis Remastered, and if you own the original Crysis on Steam you get an extra 30% off. So if you want to get the game on Steam and you own the original, you have a 50% off discount if you want to play the remastered version. So just with that out of the way, let's try the game. Let's see what Crytek told me about performance is good. But again, if you own the game on Steam, the original, there is a discount, so take advantage of it if you want to play it. Hey guys, hey, doing fine, Varun Verma, Sidhesh Gurav, Yon Urusu. So I tried this on the Epic Games Store back when it was first released. Now it's on Steam, so I'm using the settings I used in the past for 30 frames per second, which is a mix between medium and high. So medium to high, ray tracing off. And I gotta get to the part that I played before on the first video, which is back in the town that has a lot of enemies and a lot of guns. Yeah, my progress didn't carry over from the Epic Games Store version, but let's see how it goes. Gotta start from the beginning. Gracias, Emadraco. Como todos los días, bro. Y como vos. Es que te copio a vos, Emadraco. Te copio a vos. Por eso. This one doesn't have the Nubo. Really? That's true? Let me check that out for you. I didn't know that. Oh yeah. So guys, also they removed the Nuvo DRM, so that's a great plus. I didn't know that. So guys, also on the Steam version there's no Denuvo, so if you mind about DRM, the Steam version doesn't have any.
Hey Nomad,
great.
You still with us?
Okay,
yeah.
Listen up, gentlemen.
In this
Intel
game at
reports
least,
a
what do you
significant
mean?
military presence
Can you
on
even
the
turn
island.
on ray tracing
We
on
have the element of
1050 Ti?
surprise,
Yeah, that's the
so
good
let's use
thing
it.
about Crysis
North
Remastered.
Koreans can't know
They
we're
made
here.
a ray tracing solution that doesn't require you to have an RTX CPU, but it's very demanding, so keep that in mind. Está caluroso hoy, sí, pa, está re fuerte el sol. It's 560 reais, but since I own Crysis 1, it's showing 350. Yeah, there's a discount. If you own Crysis 1, guys, you get a 50% discount. 50% off discount on Steam. Again, thanks to Crytek for providing a code. They sent me a code because they wanted me to tell you guys that the game is now on Steam. So, yeah, happy to make a video checking the performance improves. And if it's closer to the original PC version, some of the features. I doubt. Set it to kind of run Crysis. Yeah, that's coming later. Don't worry, guys. I need to get to the part that is the most demanding, at least at the start, which is one of the big bases that you attack. But I want to see if there is any manual saving like on the original. That's what really bothered me about the remaster. Probably, guys, do you see the game correctly or it's too dark? Increasing the gamma if it helps in any way. Just in case. Okay, now you should be able to see better. Creo que el audio del juego está más alto en relación a tu voz. Dale, lo chequeamos. Okay, guys, is it better now? Can you hear me and the game both at the same time? fine to me. Okay, gotcha. A little too loud, I think. Okay, I lowered the volume, so it should be okay. You know, I'll be paying attention to that. Maximum mate. Hell yeah, maximum mate. Delicious. Hey, Aaronful, long time no see. What would be good GPU for playing AAA games? 768p ultra settings with 60 plus FPS. 1650 super. But if you don't want to spend a lot of money, I'd say, yeah, 1650 or 1650 super. Or the 570. The 570 can do that pretty good. I'm talking about new games, by the way. Silencer, and that's about it. Yeah, it's finally on Steam. Can you believe it, guys? Gotta get... let's see the destruction. Still there. I love doing that on the original Crysis. But yeah, the remaster left a lot to be desired. Let's see how much they improved it. Apart from adding the Ascension level, see if they took back some of the physics. RX 580 is still good in my opinion. Yeah, I'm talking about very new games. The 580 it's good with the 8GB version. It would be a great card actually because of the VRAM. Now the games are using a lot of VRAM. How is it running only at 40 frames? It's an old title. This is a remaster and I'm playing on medium to high. But I'm still not in the demanding part, so hang on to your seats. Well, Majid, thanks for being here. Calyptus, ¿todo bien? It's stable 40 frames. Yeah, for now it's over 30, but what I'm talking about is trying to get to the part that runs the worst, which is coming in a few minutes. I can compare with my original video, which was a mix between medium and high. 30 frames, but you can get 60, it's pretty easy. It still looks pretty good. But the thing is, how does it hold up against the original? That's kinda, it's a mixed bag in that regard. That's what I wanted to give it a try again. Apart than letting you guys know that it's on Steam. Many of you told me, okay, I won't play Crysis Remastered unless it's on Steam. Well, there you go. It's now on Steam. No longer Epic exclusive, and you don't have any de novo DRM, so... great improvement in my book. No de novo means I like. No de novo, Santiago likes. Hey, it's all 3 Crysis games remastered box on Steam. No, that's one of the downsides. We're getting Crysis 1 remastered on Steam, but Crysis 2 and 3 remastered will be only on the Epic Games Store for a year, I think. So for now, only Crysis 1. The trilogy, well, maybe in the future. Man, but despite being medium settings, it looks amazing.
I see a large transmitting array. That must be the
See the draw distance? Yeah, the draw distance is still pretty poor on medium. I can barely see... yeah, there's an exploding barrel there that is not showing up. Let's see if I can fix that. And there's still no manual saves. Oh man. Okay, first disappointment. There's no manual saves like in the original. They still haven't implemented that. There's only checkpoints. I don't like that.
Copy, Prophet. I'm on it.
Yeah, for some reason, yeah, the draw distance is pretty poor, as you can see, on medium. Might be able to crank it up to high, but we gotta get to the demanding place first. So, let's continue. Then we do comparisons. First, we gotta get to the demanding part. Yeah, it should be all 3 games, but I guess Crysis 2 and 3 Remastered will be coming a year after on the Epic Games Store. Who knows? But at least we got Crysis 1. I'm guessing that Crytek needed the money to make the remasters, because they lost a lot of money in the past. They were basically broke. There were a lot of issues on Crytek. So I'm guessing they took the deal on the Epic Games Store to remaster all the Crysis games. But I mean, a year later, they're coming to Steam, probably, so... Yeah, as I was saying, this is what I was trying to look at from a distance, and it wasn't rendering at all. If I stand on that rock up there, those barrels do not render. We're on medium draw distance, by the way. Medium shadows and medium draw distance. As you can see, yeah, medium draw distance, a little bit too short. I can only see one barrel. Yeah, I can notice. How's the Steam port? I'm testing that out. They also improved the physics. So let's see if this breaks individually instead of in pieces. Oh, okay. Now it's not an entire piece of the... In the original remaster, you couldn't break... Okay, never mind. You couldn't break individual planks. Now you can. Although some of them break in groups, which is pretty odd. In the original, I destroyed one and it kinda destroyed the entire fence. Now they added individual planks with a piece of wood that separates them. That's definitely an improvement over day one. Although that was on the original Crysis, so that was to be expected on day one. I was expecting this on day one, not on a patch, but good to see that it improved. Yeah, if you destroy this piece of wood, they fall all together, which is what should happen, and they individually break. So, good job, they fixed that.
Nomad, we're blind here until you find that jammer.
Yeah, destruction is better. So they definitely improved the destruction over the original remaster on day one. So yeah, things that should have been there on day one are now fixed. He didn't see me for some reason. Alright. So I'm seeing there are no screen space reflections with these settings. So yeah, overall, graphically, it's a little bit improved. Okay, there should be a truck coming. Come on, truck. Did you change your room? Yeah, I built a studio. Yeah, I think I'm just advancing. I need to go to the landing parts. For some reason, the truck that was going to ambush me didn't show up. Oh, I forgot about destroying the jammer. Let's do it later. 2060 with ray tracing is worth seeing. Yeah, but I don't have a 2060 anymore. I needed to sell it, unfortunately. But the 2060 should have a better chance now at running with ray tracing on, because I think they made the RTX cards better at ray tracing of this game with a patch. And there's now DLSS, so it'll be interesting to see. But at the moment, I don't have a 2060. Had to be sacrificed for my mental health. Let's see the ground. Also, the ground was pretty flat. Okay, now it has parallax occlusion maps. Good. Again, things that should have been here on day one on the remaster are now added. Good to see that they improved the graphics. Nice. Up, we gotta go to the demanding part, so let's keep moving. I'm not going to get very far like this. Hang on. I have no ammo. Están raras las clases de inglés, profe. Sí, están raras, pero funcionan. I forgot to grab ammunition. You have to grab it manually. The game still looks amazing, but I heard they haven't really fixed the issue with the game with core utilizing mostly 2 cores. Is this true? Let's find out. Okay, we're not aiming for 60, but once we're aiming for 60 frames, we're checking that out. I'm guessing that they didn't change that. But I'm not seeing maxed out CPU usage at 30 frames. We'll find out. Patience. Thanks for the heads up. Any thought on physics game before ray tracing is a thing? What do you mean? Try 1080p low? Yeah, we're doing that. Don't worry. Yeah, let me show you something super quick though. I forgot to show you something. So this is my video testing Crysis Remastered on day 1. So to get 60 frames, I needed to put everything on low except in objects, which were on medium and textures on high. That gave me like 60 frames, but I'm trying to get to this location on the game so I can show you the numbers and the comparisons. And the settings I was using right now were these ones. So yeah, mix between medium and high without ray tracing, and I was getting basically mid-30s on this tank battle. So I'm trying to get to this location. So let's use the same settings that I used back then. I'm doing fine, no Atata. What about you? I'm here, just having some fun with Crysis to see if they improve performance. So let's go for low settings. So shadows on low, physics on everything on low, except in those textures and objects, which are on medium. Out. We cannot hear. Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I'll put it on Can It Run Crysis in a bit, but let me first get to the demanding location. Okay? Don't worry, guys, we're getting there. Se escucha raro mi micrófono. My mic sounds weird. Okay, I'm going to fix it. Don't worry. Yeah, I'm going to go back to my previous settings on my microphone. One sec. Gotcha. Thanks. We're fixing that. Yeah, I effed around with my microphone and I screwed up apparently. Okay, is it any better now? I went back to my previous settings. Oh yeah, my compressor was at minus 10 decibels. Gotcha. Should be fine now. Let me know, guys. Anyway, so as I was saying, hang on. I'm doing low settings now. Low to medium, basically. Low mid with ray tracing off. To aim for 60 frames. So much better, bro. Okay, now you can start the ASMR. The ASMR. Do you use wallpaper engine? Not anymore. It was using resources. Okay, yeah, this is a lot better. But for some reason MSI Afterburner is not showing up. Oh, never mind, there it is. Okay, so 1080p, TAA, advanced, everything on low except in objects, which is on medium, not sure why it says custom, and textures on high. It's probably going to be 60, yeah, I mean, look at this. Oh yeah, butter smooth. And it still looks pretty good, the ground hasn't lost a lot of quality. It still looks pretty good. Yeah, the good thing about the remastered is that even on low settings it doesn't look bad, which did happen on the original Crysis. On the original Crysis, if you put the game on low, it looked like Far Cry 0. Hang on, and I'm going to change the nanosuit mode to the classic, because by default it's on strength mode. Give me classic nanosuit. But it's always in, okay, it's always in armor mode. Good thing I can change that. Oh, and also I think they fixed the leaning issue, so now you can lean in the game, which wasn't present on day 1. On day 1 this game was so incomplete. Okay, so on the CPU side we seem to be using less CPU, but it's definitely using, it's using 4 cores and more than 30%, so seems to be okay. How do I change my seat? I forgot. Tab? No. F1. Okay. There we go. F1 for better camera. Do you prefer TAA than other AA method? It really depends on the game. This is a game where TAA looks good. It blurs the image a little bit, but considering the amount of foliage, the foliage doesn't look earliest at all, so I like TAA on this game. Looks good. And the amount of foliage on screen, at least for me, makes it worth using. So yeah. Still stutters in random moments. At the moment I didn't have any stutters. Only when I started the game for the first time. Other than that, it's been okay. Although the stutters were mostly when ray tracing was enabled, so... yeah, I can definitely notice an improvement. The only stutter is when checkpoints are made, I think. Yeah, it looks pretty good on low, actually. Yeah, this is one of those games that, at least over the original, this is one thing that I like. On low settings, it doesn't look bad. Okay, gunner down. Nope, still alive. Area stutters. Yeah, when we are getting to a new checkpoint, it stutters, but that happens on many games. I want to see the area where you fight two tanks. That's usually a very demanding place, so it's going to be interesting. Okay. So these two atoms. But I need to get to that area first. Does this version have the Nuvo? No, they removed the Nuvo on the Steam version, which, if you don't like DRM, well, that's a big reason to get it on Steam instead of the Epic Games Store. Hola, tanto tiempo, Blue Black, o como sea que se dice tu nombre. Are you going to do Call of Duty Vanguard? Yeah, I'm doing that, but not today. Tomorrow that it's open to everyone, we're doing a live stream, and we're checking out the performance there. So don't worry, we're doing Vanguard, but tomorrow. It's open for everyone. Let's just move around. Hang on, I forgot what to do. Break through the KPA checkpoint. Okay, so I went to the wrong place. This is an optional objective. I'm impressed that the draw distance is so good on low though. The draw distance of the grass. I'm so inaccurate in this game. Inaccurate. That's a new word. I had read that loop is a heavy VRAM hungry. Yeah, it uses a lot of VRAM, but I mean, it's an issue with the engine on that one. So yeah. Okay, they take a lot of shots. Call of Duty is more like Call of the same game over 10 years. Yeah, I saw some Vanguard gameplay and I feel like I played that game before. I mean, it's Modern Warfare with the World War II skin with aimed at sights in World War II for some reason. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not excited about Call of Duty anymore. I'm just sad that Call of Duty is the same game over and over. Yeah, the game is cheap if you own the original. You get 50% off until September 23rd. And if you don't own any of the Crysis games, you get a 20% off launch sale. So yeah, you get no de novo, you got a discount. You don't need to buy it on the Epic Store anymore. So yeah, big plus. Big pluses everywhere. And now, once I get to the demanding part, we're going to see if performance improved in any way or not. So far, the improvements they made with patches are noticeable. I'm noticing less stutter. And I'm also noticing that some of the things that were missing from the original game are back. Some of them. Still seems to be a mix between the console version and the original PC version. But yeah, still a mixed bag. But an improvement is an improvement. What can I say? Do you like Paradox games like Hearts of Iron, Europa Universalis, Crusader Kings? No, never played any of those. Not a big fan of that genre. So yeah. I'm more of an action kind of guy. Strategy games, I like Total War. I'm a Total War Shogun 2 fan, and a Rome Total War, the original one. I played it when I was a kid, but that's about it on my strategy game thing. I'm more of a Total War type of guy. I never played those Paradox games. Okay, is everyone dead now? What is your own gaming PC rig? The streaming PC is my gaming rig. It's in the description. It's a Ryzen 5 3600 and a 1650 Super, basically. That's not a person. Maximum me sirve. Saber, Eucalyptus. Total War Warhammer is nice. Yeah, that's one I didn't play actually. I played the ones based on historical events. God of War? Yeah, God of War, I did play that. I love God of War. I started playing God of War on the PS2, so imagine. I'm one of the OG fans. Before Kratos had kids. Okay. Payday 3 2023. Yeah, super excited about Payday 3. Hopefully it runs well and looks good and has a lot of heists.
On my way.
Whoa. Just picked up the bundle, cheers, and got a cool free dinosaur game in VR. Good to know, man. How are you doing, Paradise Decay? Long time no see. I only play God of War 3, but soon I will play the 4th. Yeah, the 4th is more like a completely different game, but a welcome change. Still, I personally prefer the fighting method in the PS2 games, but I understand the evolution. Okay, reduced to atoms. Let's get all the ammunition. We swap the rifle for the shotgun. Okay, hang on. I cannot grab the shotgun for some reason. Okay, whatever. Okay, I had to hold. My bad. Frags, yes please. Yeah, physics seem to be better. Yeah, I do not put sights on shotguns. That's just... yeah, heresy. The third was very, very fun. What do you mean? God of War? Yeah, I agree. Although my favorite is probably the second one. God of War 2. Still waiting for Ascension to be playable on RPCS 3. Yeah. Yeah. That runs pretty well actually. Still needs a lot of fixes, but... Okay. I'm going to the wrong location apparently. I need to go around. Anyone who wants to replay Crysis but don't want to buy Remastered, go for Maximum Immersion mod plus Parallax Fix. Okay. Thanks for the heads up, man. It's appreciated. Oh, I'm impressed with the performance. Yeah, I mean, it's still a mix between medium and low at 60 frames, and it's a pretty old game. But we're going to try ray tracing. Can it run Crysis mode? But first I need to get to the demanding place. It seems to be more stable than before though. I'm not getting stutters like I did in the past.
Maximum strength. Energy critical.
Alright.
Maximum armor.
¿Vale la pena comprar una 2060? Si está a buen precio, Claudio, sí, por supuesto. Está muy bien todavía para el día de hoy.
Maximum strength.
Alright.
Maximum speed.
Can it run 1 FPS? Yeah, with ray tracing it's probably going to be 1 FPS, but since ray tracing here doesn't require to have an RTX GPU, we can put it to the test even at 720p. It's going to be fun. 1615 on Super, yeah, coming soon to your nearest Santiago video.
Did you see it? Where'd it go? This way. Come on, move.
Alright. Is ultra and high preset testing completed already? No. I'm getting to the demanding part. Once I get there, we're going to do the demanding part. One of the demanding parts. The demanding level will be the Ascension level, but I'm not playing that one today. Maybe I'm doing a separate video for that one. More ammo, yes please. Thank God. Yeah, what I don't like about this game, in the original also happens, is that it doesn't automatically pick up ammo. I have to do it myself. But I'm just lazy. Alright. Okay, I found Jester. Let's do the next level. So this is the level I wanted to try. This is the one where I drop frames like crazy, so yeah. Prime to drop frames like crazy when looking into the distance, actually. So it will be fun to try. Let's see. Do you think remastered news about GTA series is true? Yeah, I think so. There's a lot of money on the table.
Damn it. What?
Maximum
Eyes open, boys. KPA
Okay.
comm center up.
And again, one of my
Watch my back.
huge disappointments with this release, they still haven't put manual saving like on the original. In the original, you could save anywhere, but you cannot on this one.
But bodies.
There's only checkpoints.
Move in on that trailer.
Let's see the destruction.
Access the KPA secure channel.
Die.
You and Psycho secure the perimeter.
Okay. Still Crysis. Good old Crysis. Bueno, saludos, Gatito Power.
KPA are holding a civilian hostage in the village about a click ahead. Could be
Into
one of
vehicle. Let's
Roosevelt's.
go.
No
Let's
matter. I
go.
need you to infiltrate the village and gather any intel you can. I'll stay here and monitor incoming comms.
So we're going to drive directly. What do I have to do?
Understood? Understood. Psycho will provide support.
I love that they are briefing me on the mission I have to do, and I'm already on my way. I'm already doing my job.
You guys aren't gonna believe this, but it sounds
Okay,
like
checkpoint reached.
Young is in charge of the whole operation.
The guy behind that massacre a few years back. Why would he be here?
I don't know, but watch your backs. These guys are hardcore.
Let's look into the distance. We're getting to the demanding part, guys. We're almost there. Looks like Lego house. What do you mean by Lego house? Oh, because it was destroyed in pieces. Kinda makes sense. Good comparison. Oh, I killed the chicken. Sorry, chicken. Nothing against you. Who else wants to die? I think I have to destroy this thing. Oh, I know what to do. I have an idea to make my own checkpoint. But I need to kill the enemies first. Hang on. Okay, good. So my secondary mission is access the NK tactical network. Okay, we're doing that after I go to the big part. So give me one sec. I'm not using that. Okay, so I have here the rifle. We are grabbing the rifle. And I have now the assault scope, so I can now look into the distance. So this is what I was talking about. If you look into the distance here, you drop frames quite a bit. So this is the place I was looking for. So give me 1 second, guys. What I'm going to do in order to be able to do repeatable testing, we're going to grab the save file from the game and we're going to reuse that save file because the game doesn't have manual saves, which bothers me. So what I'm doing is going to app data, roaming, no, not roaming, local. Okay, there's, let me check where the save location is. PC Gaming Wiki, Crysis Remastered. All right. So, okay, there's a skip intro logos thing. Doesn't matter right now. But I'm going to do that first. So first tweak I recommend, go into the game files, browse into the game's files, and delete intromovies.pack. So now, oh, it's launched in Crysis Remastered. Okay, delete this and you won't have any intro sequence happening. Where is the save? It's on Saved Games, Crysis Remastered. Okay, so this PC, users, Santi, Saved Games, Crysis Remastered. Okay, so here are the saves. So what we're going to do here is duplicate this. So we have a copy. We're going to make a shortcut into the desktop of this. So in the desktop now we have Crysis Remastered, the save location. And we're going to copy and paste. So now when I need the save files to be repeated, I just copy them over to the Crysis Remastered part. So now I can repeat the same thing over and over, thank God. You didn't even know the site? Well, yeah guys, PC Gaming Wiki. If you're a PC gamer, please visit PC Gaming Wiki. They have a lot of cool tricks for games. So let's restart the checkpoint. La beta de Vanguard mañana. Guys, tomorrow we're talking about Call of Duty, yeah. Okay, so now we are here. So here we get 60 frames. Let's now just change to Can It Run Crysis, which requires me to restart the game. So let's go back to the menu and try that. Request from Gran Turismo emulator test. Yeah, that's coming soon, don't worry. I have a lot of things pending. So let's put it on Can It Run Crysis. Yeah, let's put it just everything on Can It Run Crysis. Just for the memes. Of course, we're not doing this for the textures because it doesn't make sense. Yeah, and the objects we keep it on high. Oh, you know what? Life's too short, so let's put everything on the highest. I mean, whatever. Experimental RT boost mode. We're trying that later as well. Okay, so can it run Crysis? Let's find out. Before that though, let's get out of the game so I can remove the intro sequence. So 1 sec. So guys, again, recommendation from me, personal recommendation. Go into the local files, game, and remove this intromovies.pack. What will happen is that the game now won't have any logos when you open it, so yeah. Keep a fire extinguisher ready, yeah. Wait, which Gran Turismo? Gran Turismo 5. You can play it on RPCS 3. And for some reason, Rivatener gets, yeah, it's force closed for some reason. Stops showing up. Not sure why. But I can just restart the program. Didn't know this option was there. Well. Bueno, gracias el Visco, sí, tal cual. Es que me olvido de comer. Es un tema de ansiedad, supongo. Alright guys, as you could see there, we went directly into the menu. So we're on Can It Run Crysis mode. So can it run Crysis settings? So wish me luck, I'm going to need it. And then we try the experimental RT boost mode, but it'll be fun. Let's continue. 170 mid 2020. What do you mean? What do you think of Alman Chowder on the 1650 Super? Should be easy to run. It runs on a PS4. I mean, come on. 1 FPS incoming. Incoming! I don't feel so good. Here we go. Yeah, there were no stats because, yeah, it bugs out at times. Yeah, the VRAM will overflow like crazy, the draw distance will be ridiculously large. So let's see if anything happens at all. Okay, it loaded, it's using all the VRAM. So you can see already the VRAM usage, oh my. Yeah, as you can see, on the highest settings, it runs at 10 frames per second. But I think it's mostly due to the draw distance on the VRAM.
Blowing up the pumps in that gas station would cause a nice distraction.
So yeah, but as you can see into the distance, I can see individual trees into the distance there. And the palm trees are also render shadows, and they are like hundreds of meters away. So it's ridiculously unnecessary, in my opinion. Because of the draw distance mostly and the textures. But it looks great. I mean, to me at least, it's completely playable, guys. I mean, 10 frames per second, movies are at 3 frames per second, so 10 frames is playable. Yeah, of course. Okay, let's do some tweaks. High textures and high objects. So this will decrease our VRAM usage, this will decrease the draw distance, which kills the frame rate at times. We're disabling the motion blur. And can you run Crysis settings, but high shadows, high objects, and textures. And let's see if we can get 30 frames like that. But I'm guessing, and ray tracing on high. Yeah, let's put ray tracing on high. High objects, textures, and RT. So it makes more sense. So yeah, let's try it like this. This should be more realistic. "10 frames isn't bad when compared to the performance I was getting in modded Minecraft. Now that was unplayable, yeah. 1000 FPS on menu, we won. Yeah, we won. But let's see if we can even do ray tracing at 30 frames. That will be interesting. Okay. So as you can see, still not enough for 30 frames, but guys, there's ray tracing, so I think without ray tracing we should be okay. But still, that draw distance is pretty good on high. On high, I still get rendered shadows into the distance, so why bother with can it run Crysis draw distance if you can do this? So yeah, let's do a couple extra tweaks. I'm guessing that ray tracing is a culprit, but at least now, what I can say, I'm not getting huge stutters like before with ray tracing on, which is a huge plus. It was a stutter fest with ray tracing in the past. So yeah, let's disable ray tracing. Let's be realistic for once. And the shaders, let's put them on high. Okay, 17 frames versus 18 frames now. Okay, nothing changed. Ray tracing off. Okay, that wasn't enough. So probably high settings can do the job on this one. I'm being a little too ambitious. But you can make it look good without... Oh, the shadows. I forgot to lower the shadows. Stupid me. Although, yeah, the shadows are still pretty demanding. Okay. Shaders on medium. Maybe that fixes the problem. Although with shaders on medium, there's no way to use ray tracing, and why would you? Okay, still not enough for 30 frames like this, on a mix between medium and high. So let's do mid-high. And I gotta lower the object quality, I think. But man, I really do love that draw distance. Anyway, for 30 frames per second, guys, this would be my advice. Medium to high settings with low shaders. So as you can see here, shaders on low, medium shadows, high objects, high textures. Yeah, this is basically high with medium shadows and shaders on low. So yeah, this will be my 30 frames configuration. You still get good draw distances. I forgot to disable motion blur. My bad. There we go. So as I was saying, you get pretty good draw distances. The shadows, well, the draw distance of the shadows is significantly pared back, although we can still see some shadows there. And looking into the distance gives us, in the bad parts, 30 frames per second. When did you start? How much did I miss? You missed 40 minutes, so you missed quite a bit. So let's reload the checkpoint. Now let's reload back to the menu. And we play a little bit more. Since we have the save file locked in, we can actually now reload this part as many times as I want. World War Z has new DLC. Yeah, I know. But there's a lot of new games. I wanted to check out Crysis. I love Crysis. I wanted to see if they improved things. So far it seems that the performance is almost the same, but with less stutter, which is always a good plus. So yeah.
Looks like the KPF set up an HQ in the town hall next
Alright, so we grab the missile launcher. Thank you. It's time to do some mayhem. And now we go all the way down there. And as you can see, this is similar settings to day one, but there is better physics, there is better, well, there's less stutter.
Maximum speed, energy critical. Maximum armor.
So yeah, let's destroy that gas station. Gas station incoming. Yeah, Jay, sometimes notifications are garbage in YouTube, but what can you do? Whoa, I forgot there were turrets. I should have taken a car or something. Dead, reduced to atoms. He's dead. Anybody else? I cannot see a thing. Oh, there you are. Okay, time to destroy the gas station like we do on Just Cause, but on Crysis.
Comrade, I'm inside the village. Awaiting confirmation of the target.
Nice. So we got a stutter when I destroyed the gas station. Okay, I'm dying. But it seems to be more stable so far. I'm using slightly higher settings than in my previous video. And it seems to be more stable, yeah. Let's go into the tank battle. Yeah, this game is pretty hard even on normal. Yeah, but I like that the game tells you, okay, do your best. You can be invisible for a few seconds, you can use your armor, but good luck. That's basically what the game tells me.
Secure the building. I've got your back. Got your signal.
Heads up, Nomad. We've got a KPA armor division heading.
Okay, here we come.
Take that out before I can extract the village.
So we grab all this. Okay, so this is exactly the part I recorded on day one on the 1050 Ti. So let's pause the game. Let's see if the settings are the same. So again guys, the settings I'm using, a mix between medium and high, shaders on low, and post-processing on high. So yeah, for some reason it changes back to custom, but here you are. These are the settings. And let me show you what I used on day one. Since we're comparing performance, I gotta take a reference. So Crysis Remastered 1050 Ti. So I tried this again on day one, and these are the settings I used on high. So I use medium objects, which is lower than before, medium shadows, high physics, okay, high shaders, ray tracing off, and the rest on high. So I gotta put the same settings. So I got 33 FPS, yeah, into the 30s in this part. So in the past, it was in the low 30s with these settings. So let's do the exact like-for-like settings. So everything on high, objects on medium, and shadows on medium, and no ray tracing. Let's try that. Okay, how many games still use OpenGL, sadly? Yeah, so many. I mean, so many. Mostly emulators. The one that comes to mind first is Wolfenstein: The New Order. That one was OpenGL. On AMD cards, it ran like absolute garbage. I remember. So it was everything on high, shaders on high, no ray tracing. Let me double check. My memory, short term. Medium, everything on medium. No, everything on high, medium shadows and medium objects. Gotcha. So this is the difference now. Gotcha. So as you can see now, same settings as on the video I recorded on day one. Let's check. Same level, same place. And we're getting, on that one, we got 30 frames per second. At the worst, 30 frames per second when fighting with the tank. So let's see if that's the same or not. With these settings, we should be over 30 frames. At least in this part. And I don't know why, again, my overlay disappears. What the hell, game? Okay. Let's try that out. For some reason my capture card broke the footage. There we go. Alright. So we go back. And let's continue. For Old Blood there is a fix for AMD cards. Yeah, but still, you need a fix. It doesn't work on its own. Yeah, I'll do Vanguard tomorrow, when it's open for everyone.
Heads up, Nomad. We've got a KPA on.
Okay, the overlay is broken again. I hate Rivet Turner sometimes. No headphones today? No, it's too hot today for headphones. In a way, we can play the original Crysis on 1440p easily with this card. Yeah, I should be fine. Hang on. I'm trying to get the overlay working again. Okay, there we go. So we're doing the same location as on the video, but I need ammo. So we fight against the tank like before. Aim with the missile launcher and yeah, similar numbers. I look into it. That's okay. It drops into 29, 1 frame less, but it has better physics according to the videos I saw before. Although the grass is still at 30 frames per second apparently, and I don't have any short range gun. There we go. Die. So yeah, and it seems to be more stable as well. So definitely it improved. let's see when I shoot the... Okay, yeah, the glass refresh rate... Well, I'm playing at 30 frames, but it seems to be better as well. It moves more now. So yeah, those are my first impressions. It seems to be the same thing with more of the original's physics back in. Oh, I forgot. Let's use a launcher. Okay, yeah. Not sure if it's in the original this move when I shot it. But destruction seems to be better than on day one. Yeah, definitely. And performance is almost the same, so... Yeah, I've got to try it with ray tracing. So let's try checkpoint at 60 frames. A tank with 2 pistols. Yeah, I'm a badass. I don't need more than that. Okay, let's do now low settings. I think it was medium shadows and the rest on low. Or 60 frames. So yeah, let's see how the CPU fares against that. So this is now low settings. Medium shadows and objects. So yeah, let's go back. Wish me luck. 1080p, TAA, and these settings. Is there any program that can define FPS of video? Yeah, TR drop. But you need uncompressed footage to use it. It doesn't work with compressed video. Come on, don't be shy. Okay, hang on guys. Let's do this. Okay. Yeah, into the 60s. Sometimes drops into the upper 50s with an explosion, but overall, seems solid. CPU below 50%, yeah. But we are GPU bound, so kinda makes sense. It's not using a lot of CPU. I mean, in this case, it doesn't need more CPU because we are limited by the graphics card. So yeah, here the issue is the graphics card. The graphics card is limiting the FPS. But as you can see, you can do 1080p 60 if you want to. The game still looks good. Let me see if I can lean. That's something that was missing on this one. Let's see. Weapons. Lean left and right. Okay, they came back with leaning right. Oh, you can now lean like in the original. This was missing on day one. You can now lean like on the original. Nice. That's awesome. I cannot believe they missed this on day one. Nice haircut. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Let's destroy the tank. Oh. Yeah, that's not the right gun. I don't have more rockets. That was the issue. Yeah, but definitely it's fine. It runs just like before, I think. Considering what I played so far, it seems to be running just like on day one. But with things that should have been on day one. So they updated the graphics, the ascension level, and some of the physics. But it's still, some things are still different from the original. Oh yeah, let's check out the grass refresh rate. That's one thing that was missing. But the grass physics were at 30 frames. Okay, I'm breaking everything, hang on. Okay. Yeah, I'm not noticing any reaction to bullets. Not sure if the original had that. Yeah, maybe it's because I'm playing on low settings. Yeah, probably because of that. Yeah, look at those physics on low settings. Yeah, low settings seems to be getting rid of any interaction with the vegetation. So we're going to try this on the 1650 Super to see if the frame rate of the vegetation is the same as the refresh rate of the monitor. Can 1050 Ti run Crysis? Yes. So the settings I'm using now, this is low with medium draw distance and medium shadows, which I think is the way to play the game on this card. You get 60 frames. But it's pretty smooth, not gonna lie. Is this your personal best settings for 1050 Ti? Yeah, exactly. Because you can play at 60 frames, the game still looks good. And if you're just playing for visuals, well, play at 30 frames. But if you want 60s, there you go. Yeah, it seems to be pretty solid with these settings. Thanks, Janice Gamer. I appreciate that. So anyway, let's see the original video I made. Because on low settings, as you could see there, it dropped into the upper 50s when shooting the tank with rockets. And it stayed over 60 after that, so let's see what I did on day one. On day one I put objects on medium. So I was using slightly lower settings back then. And I was getting, yeah, similar numbers, 60s. But look at that, the difference now, there is not that much stutter like before. Before you got some weird frame time spikes. Not sure if you can notice that. Let me show you. I mean, the FPS were fine, but there were some stutters at the beginning. Here, when aiming down sights and when the tank was shooting at me. So yeah, those spikes I think are gone. Gotta check that out in the game. A whole hour on the 1050 Ti. Oh man, it's been an hour! I'm so sorry, guys. Yeah, I was just going to do one setting, so yeah. Let's do the 570. It's been an hour. Time flies. Sorry, guys. I got too excited comparing. Apologies. Let's do the 570. 1 second. Yeah, tank ammo or stutters. Well, not anymore, apparently. So 1050 Ti out. 570 in. Alright. 6 FPS for single player and 144 FPS on competitive games. Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. I forgot about something. It's a little too bright in here, yeah. Oh, there we go. That's a lot better. People say game looks worse than original in some places, and they are right. In some places it does look worse than the original. Especially on the terrain. Some things on the original are better, yeah. But, I mean, it's a different art style. They seem to have changed the art style quite significantly. It's more saturated. The original Crysis is more... yeah, more... I don't know how to say it. Feels more realistic with the color palette. This one uses a very saturated color palette. If you know what I mean. There's more color on this one. The other one just tried to be realistic. This one just tried to have good colors. Okay, we're back in. 570 now. And I'm just going to find a 60 frames setting, and then we're doing 30. So let's start with high settings on the 570. Yeah, more natural lighting, thanks. Yeah, that was what I was trying to say. Let's put these save games here. So I get back to the top of the mountain. Get into the game. You changed camera placement. Yeah, I did. So you can see more of me when I change GPUs. So yeah. Enter to continue. Okay, English, please. And on the options, we're doing 1080p again, as you can see here. On the advanced options, we're doing... let's do everything on high first, and then we try to get 60s. High, high, high. And then we're trying the experimental ray tracing boost mode, whatever that is. So high settings plus ray tracing. What am I doing ray tracing? Because this game doesn't need an RTX card for ray tracing. You can do it on any GPU, but it's going to kill your frames, so it would be nice to try it out. Do you recommend Ryzen 5 5600G? Never heard about it. I haven't been paying attention to new CPUs. You forget the blur? Well, but you can disable TAA if you want to. Okay, yeah, definitely. Ray tracing is a no-go for the 570. At least on this resolution. So let's lower the ray tracing. Let's put it on performance. Let's see if anything improves there. Okay, 27. Maybe with medium shadows. Okay, 30 frames. So high settings. Performance ray tracing. And we're doing medium shadows. So yeah, let's see how it goes, shall we? As you can see here. Oh, let's see if the experimental RT boost mode gives us any extra frames. So 31 frames, and if I enable it... okay, no, it puts the frame rate in half, so do not use the experimental RT boost mode. It kills your frames, at least on the 570. Yeah, guys, don't feed the troll. I don't know who the troll is, but yeah, don't feed him. I'm feeding him right now, here, with some of the poop I did yesterday. Okay, some stutter, maybe because it's loading for the first time. Okay. Alright. Let's see if we can keep it at 30 frames. There's RTX shaders on Minecraft that don't require an RTX card. Yeah, nice.
We now have exact coordinates. The contact is being held in the
Okay, we'll grab more ammo. Yes, please.
They're tracking something on the monitor. Looks like a naval fleet heading our way.
Must be the cavalry.
More ammo, thank God.
Just for us.
That's not your concern. Stay focused on finding that hostage.
Hang on, I'll be sniping some enemies. ¿Tiene DLSS de AMD? No, no tiene, pero se puede agregar aparte. Eso lo probaremos otro día. So people asking if there is Fidelity FX Super Resolution. There is not, but I'm guessing that they're going to add it eventually. But you can do it with a third-party app, which we're looking at later. But hang on, first I need to snipe those bad guys.
That gas station would cause a nice distraction.
Okay, one down. Another one down. There was an... Oh, there you are. Okay. Got them all. Let's run in. We gotta destroy the gas station. And it was the best Windows I installed on my PC. Oh, the Spectre Windows. Yeah. I mean, that's why I made the video. I know it's been my best version of Windows so far that I used. So I wanted to share it with you guys. Happy to know that it worked out for you. Okay, so gotta blow up the gas station. Gas station goes boom. Okay, still 30 frames despite the explosion. There it dropped to 27 due to the checkpoint being saved. Pretty normal stuff. Let's see if the ray tracing does anything though. I want to see if there is ray trace reflections. Because I don't remember exactly what was being ray traced. Okay, that was really loud and distorted. Yeah, it was. It was hilarious. Okay. Yeah, there is screen space reflections. Okay, there's screen space reflections mixed with ray tracing. Let me get the enemies first. He's on the bridge. There we go, dead, reduced to atoms. Okay, no more gunners. Am I right? Okay, so as I was saying, it's a mix of ray tracing on the reflections and screen space. If you can probably notice in the middle of the screen, if I look down, the reflection of the waterfall disappears. That's because that's a screen space reflection. So yeah, that's screen space. So that's not ray tracing, that's just screen space. But if you can see here in the reflection, there is the bridge is being reflected, and it's not on the screen. So let's disable ray tracing to show you what I'm talking about. So we disable ray tracing. And as you can see now, the bridge is not reflected. And the screen space reflections are removed as well, which I didn't know. So if you remove ray tracing, there's no screen space reflections, it seems. Well, there are some screen space reflections, but not about these objects on screen. So yeah, there's some reflections, but nothing like the ray trace reflections. But you get a massive FPS boost without ray tracing, so... Yeah, ray tracing on performance, as you can see, gives you a lot of reflections. Here there are screen space mixed with real-time ray trace reflections, like this bridge. But I mean, to me it doesn't change that much, personally. I'd rather play at 60 frames, thanks. But it's fun to be able to do ray tracing on RX 570. I mean, it doesn't have ray tracing support, and they found a way to make it compatible with everything, which I think is pretty interesting. Hang on, let's put the scope. There we go. Okay, got them all, finally. What's the performance with higher ray tracing? It's below 30 frames. I mean, these settings that I'm showing you guys is for 30 frames per second and 1080p. Let's fight now against the tank, since that's usually where it drops. Hopefully I don't die in the process though. Ray tracing in 2021 costs so much unless you have a console. Yeah. And if the console supports ray tracing.
Got your six, boss.
Okay,
Heads up, Nomad.
checkpoint
We've got a
reached.
KPA armor division heading this way. You've got to take that out.
Okay, now it's
I can
into the
extract
20s.
civilian.
Hang on. Let's see what happened there. Yeah, I think the ray tracing also includes global illumination. We're dropping below 30 here. Let's see one who are outside. Yeah, outside it seems to be fine. Let's see with... Okay, explosions seem to be fine.
Clear a path. I'll get the hostage out.
Doesn't seem to be an issue. The thing is indoors. Indoors I was dropping frames pretty hard. And again, I'm guessing that has to do with the global illumination. But I mean, if you want to do it, you can. Just expect some drops below 30 indoors. Did you get a haircut? NVIDIA Hairworks off. Yeah, I needed more FPS, so I disabled Hairworks on myself. That improved the experience 1000%. It's like adding RGB to your PC. You always get like 100 FPS improvement. Okay, now it's better. A little bit better. But it seems to be the global illumination. So maybe avoid ray tracing. This is just for fun to see what happened. Let's try to get 60 frames, shall we? No ray tracing, so we jump from 21 to 44. Whoa, 15 FPS more. Yeah, of course. Shaders on medium should help. Let's see. 44 frames versus 48. What about low shaders? Okay, low shaders is the way to go, definitely. I like having a good draw distance in a game like this, so yeah, I don't mind lowering the shaders a little bit. So this is low shaders, shadows on medium, and the rest on high, without ray tracing. So yeah, that's basically my settings at the moment. Let's see if that holds up when I restart the checkpoint.
Heads up, Nomad. We've got a KPA armor division heading this way. You've
Yeah,
got to
this
take
is
that out
butter
before I can
smooth
extract
now.
the civilian.
Yeah, a lot better. Yeah, guys, play the game like this. Do yourself a favor. Do yourselves a favor, I better say. Okay, let's see. Explosion.
I'm still seeing armor out there.
Okay.
Clear a path. I'll get the hostage out.
But personally, guys, what would you rather have? A better draw distances? Whoa. Or better shaders?
Heads up, Nomad. We've got a KPA armor
Let's
division
pause
heading this
that. I'll do a poll. FBI, open up. FBI, open up. What would you prefer on Crysis Remastered? Better draw distances, better shaders. Which in this case, better shaders appears to be many things. So it has to do with how the materials are rendered, basically. Let's put that. Materials rendering. So there's the poll. Hopefully, guys, you can respond. Let's see what you prefer. Again, personally, I rather have decent raw distances with objects quality, but worse materials. Materials, I mean the materials that cover the game objects.
Take that out before I can extract the civilian.
So how the objects, how the surfaces react to light. Both? Yeah, of course I want both, but I mean in this case, you take one or the other. Oh, I'm blind now. Haven't tried this one with my current setup. Try it. It seems to be way smoother now. I saw less stutter, and I also noticed that some of the physics are fixed. Some of them. It's still not 100% faithful to the original, but it seems to be more stable, and it doesn't have any DRM. It doesn't have the new one no more. So yeah, this is what it should have been on day one. And it still doesn't have manual saves. That bothers me. Motion blur off. I think I disabled it. Yeah, it's off. Why would I put motion blur on? Yeah, the tank got me.
Heads up, Nomad. We've got a KPA armored division heading this way. You've got to take that out before I can extract the...
So yeah. So yeah, for the 570 I will use this high settings, 1080p, no ray tracing, medium shadows, low shaders, and you should be good. Although yeah, the terrain, the materials on the terrain are not great on low shaders. So yeah, it's more demanded on the CPU side. Most of the processes in this game are single threaded. Yeah, it's still... Yeah, now that I'm seeing it, now that you guys mention it, the GPU usage sometimes drops when I'm looking into the distance. Yeah, it still doesn't seem to be using... Yeah, it's one core at 73% and the other one at 60%. Yeah. But I'm happy that the game is smoother now, less stutter, without a doubt. But the CPU is still not used at its maximum potential, yeah. It seems to be using 2 cores. 1 or 2 cores. So yeah. What a bummer. I'll play it at 900p just to increase a little bit the shaders. Yeah, that's an option as well. Good point. Yeah, some people like to have resolution, so I usually try to go for resolution. Yeah, I'll show you that super quick. It's pretty obvious. Here we're looking at the terrain. So, hang on, hopefully I can go back a little bit further so they forget that I exist. So as I was saying, I think it affects the tesselation. So, I take a screenshot. I pause the game and we increase the shaders to high so you can see what I'm talking about. Come on. Okay. And now another screenshot. Alright, so I took a couple screenshots, guys, so I can show you the difference. So we're recording, screenshot 1 and 2, there we go. So I took a couple screenshots, and as you can probably notice, it's mostly the ground. So the ground there now has like a 3D effect that wasn't present before. So yeah, if you increase the shaders, the ground has more of a geometry to it. It also increases the shadows a bit, how the shadows react to the terrain. It's less of a flat surface. That would be basically how it goes, and how some objects react to the lighting. So yeah, personally, I don't mind getting rid of that. But it does affect the look of the game quite significantly, especially when you're in the beach. In the beach. in the beach is super noticeable. So yeah. Crysis on Steam Deck, 720p low. Nah, I'm guessing on the Steam Deck it will be 720p high settings, maybe with performance ray tracing at over 30 frames. Especially that it's ray tracing capable hardware. Here, the beach. The beach. Yeah, some parts do not have the parallax occlusion maps for some reason. I'm pretty sure on Crysis 1, the original, there was like 3D sand here. So yeah, it's mixed. It's pretty mixed. It's like a mix between the original Xbox 360 version and the PC version. Kinda weird. Anyway, time to do the 1650 Super, shall we? To me, this is more like a benchmark than a game. Yeah, of course. Makes complete sense. That's what everybody does with this game. We only see graphics and criticize. That's all we do. Alright. Back here, let's swap GPUs. Crysis Remastered graphics looks like enlisted. I disagree. Why do you say it looks like enlisted? In what form? I'm genuinely curious. RX 580. I don't have the 580 anymore. I sold it along with the 2060 because those were the cards that were watched the least on the channel. And I needed money to build a studio. I needed a place that wasn't my room to do YouTube because it was affecting my mental health. I wasn't sleeping well, I wasn't eating, it was terrible. So yeah. He's a troll messing with us, gotcha. Banhammer to you then. There it goes. Gone, reduced to atoms. The troll is now finished. What the heck are you drinking out of? This is called the mate in Uruguay. This is metal. This is herbs from the ground. And it's like drinking tea basically, but you put hot water into it so it never gets cold. So yeah. Doesn't have any psychoactive things, unfortunately. It's like drinking tea, stronger tea, but that's basically it. Nothing special. Yeah, no alcohol, unfortunately. I would have been happier, but hey, what can you do? So depressing. So as I was saying, the 580 should be 10 frames ahead of the 570, especially in this game. Let's start with high settings on this one. I'm going to grab the save file so I can repeat the same place over and over. There we go. And let's launch the game, shall we? I need to get myself a metal straw. Yeah, it's not a straw actually. It's like, yeah, it's like a straw actually, yeah. It has a filter at the bottom, so I don't grab the herbs through it. If not, the herbs will go, yeah, those compressed herbs will go into my throat. That's why I cough sometimes, is the herbs. But it's just like drinking tea. It's the most people-friendly drink out there. Okay, so this is 1080p high plus ray tracing. Better said, yeah, Tom. Yeah, the herbs. Yeah, I saw what you did there. That's pretty fun. It's a green herb from Resident Evil. I'm mixing the red herb and the green one. I need full health. It looks like a potion from Skyrim or something. Who says it isn't? Who says it isn't? So if you guys
Looks like the KP have set up an HQ in the town hall
hang on.
next to the school.
I will put Uruguayan mate, Uruguayan mate. There we go. So if you guys are wondering what am I drinking, I left you a link in the chat that explains what this drink is. But it's basically the national drink.
We need to find that
Okay.
hostage. Recon the building for any signs of the
1650
contacts
Super. Again, we're using high settings with high ray tracing. And it seems to be over 30 frames. Let me double check the settings just in case I'm missing something. Yeah, high settings, high ray tracing. So, high ray tracing. So yeah, let's go. We grab the missile launcher. Thank you, sir. And all the ammunition. Gotta wreak some havoc. Asking once again, Santiago, can you try enabling fast sync from the video control panel for this game and see whether it improves the CPU utilization? As far as I know, it's already enabled. I always enable it by default. So yeah. And I'm getting some stutters now. Not sure why. Maybe because it's loading the game for the first time. Or maybe it's the ray tracing. Who knows?
Maximum speed energy critical.
Yeah, probably the ray tracing. Although now it seems to be fixed. Yeah, the first time we launched the game is pretty stuttery with ray tracing.
Blowing up the pumps in that gas station would cause a nice distraction.
Oh, there's no silencer for the rifle. That's fine.
Maximum.
No worries, Sahendra, no worries. I'm here with you, man. Okay, high ray tracing. Yeah, it seems to be higher resolution of the reflections. Yeah, the reflections are higher resolution. Still pretty blocky, but a ray tracing on a non-ray tracing card. Still pretty impressive, if you ask me. Yeah, and even this is reflected. Let's see if in the reflection it happens. Oh, my bad. Okay. There is destroyed. Yeah, not everything is being ray traced. I'm seeing that this structure is being ray traced, but the rest is all screen space. Interesting. Yeah, it's software ray tracing. Yeah. But it's still pretty interesting to me. We can do that on a non-ray tracing GPU. What I'm trying to say is, I think they did a good job.
Energy critical.
Oh, really? Okay, everybody die, please.
I'm inside the village, awaiting confirmation of the target.
Gas station goes boom. Still 30 frames. So yeah, if you want to play with ray tracing on the 1650 Super, you can do it pretty well on high settings. And the stutter seems to be basically gone after a few seconds, so yeah, definitely it improved in that regard as well. And on the CPU side, still using 2 to 3 cores at its maximum potential. But yeah, the CPU is still not being utilized like it should. What was that guy doing? So yeah, they improved it with patches, but again, this is how it should have been on day one. I know I say that a lot, but that's what I think. I wish I still had the 2060 so I could try The new ray tracing options and DLSS, that would have been fun. The software ray tracing at the Noir bench looks awesome. Yeah, it does. It's a nice tech demo. I agree. Hey Santiago, would you recommend Black Mesa? Never played any Half-Life game, but I want to try it out. Yeah, sure, go for it, man. I think it's a good start. Especially if you haven't played the original. The original feels pretty dated, especially when you are doing platforming. Platforming on the original Half-Life is a complete pain in the butt. So yeah. Black Mesa is great. Especially the new levels. They did a second update to the graphics in Black Mesa, so I can definitely recommend. I played it, I loved it. I should do videos again on Black Mesa. It was a fun game. Yeah, they did a good job with that remake, I agree. Okay, yeah, definitely with the 1650 Super, just do high settings if you want ray tracing. You get some global illuminations, some reflections. And you are over 30 frames, so basically this is what you get on a Series S, I would say. Yeah, a Series S should be pretty similar to this. High settings. High settings with... Although on the Series S I noticed that the draw distances were like on medium settings. That kinda disappointed me. But here on the PC you can use high settings just fine with ray tracing. Make Forza 4 with RX 570. I think I already did it. Alright. Let's try 60 frames now, which should be right away. No ray tracing for 60 frames, so no ray tracing. And that should do, I think. Okay, no, still not enough. Medium shadows, maybe? Okay, medium shadows, yeah. And shaders on medium. That is probably enough. What would you prefer on Crysis Remaster? I prefer the original. That's a good one, man. I like that. Yeah, some things on the original are still missing. Okay, so I mix between medium and high for 60 frames. So this is high settings plus medium shadows and shaders. And you guys, from the 153 votes, you rather have better shaders than better draw distances. Okay, so we disagree. That's fine. That's interesting. I thought you were going to say draw distances, but in general, you do not look into the distancing in many games. This one in the first levels, but then you are very close quarters. Let's reload the checkpoint. Divide the chat moment. Yeah, that's fine. That's why I ask for your opinions. I'm genuinely curious. Explosions seem to be okay. Okay, now we have... Okay, good. Now there is interaction with vegetation, which wasn't there on low settings on the 1050 Ti. Yeah, interesting. It still doesn't seem... Yeah, this is 30 frames on the foliage. So they still haven't fixed that. Interesting. They still didn't fix the foliage. Updating at 30 frames per second. What a shame. Yeah. The foliage is still at 30 frames per second. I mean, I'm bothered about that because the original does not have this issue, and the original is 13 years old. How could you mess that up? Anyway. You can still play the original if you want to, but it would have been nice to have ray tracing on the original. But what can you do? Oh, no more ammo? I'm just dying. So yeah. Is this your recommended graphics options for the game? No, still not. I'm dropping frames now. Let me check something super quick. Maybe the vegetation. No, that doesn't help that much. Yeah, maybe I have to do like on the 570, low shaders. Yeah, low shaders. So medium shadows, low shaders. That has to be it. So yeah, if you want to stay over 50, make sure to keep it like this. This would be my recommended options. Maybe lower the objects to medium and you can crank up those shaders if you care about that. But in general, good. Game effects on medium. No, I don't think that will be enough. I didn't notice much of a difference on the remastered version. We might try it, yeah. Let's try it now. Now that we're here, we might as well. Game effects on medium. Yeah, no, still runs the same. Maybe the volumetrics. No, in general, objects on medium is the best bet. Yeah. Anyway. Most of the time you should be over 60. Yeah, even when exploding the tank, you're okay. Whoa. I have played through Crysis 2 and 3, but not Crysis 1. Well, take the advantage. Play Crysis 1 if you can. It's a very different game from Crysis 2 and 3. Crysis 2 and 3 was like, okay, Call of Duty is popular. Let's make, well, not actually that. Call of Duty is popular and console shooters are getting more popular. How do we make Crysis run on the consoles? Like, let's make a new engine. And that's basically what Crysis 2 and 3 are. They're more traditional shooters. This is more like, okay, we give you an open map, approach it however you want. It happens also on Crysis 2 and 3, but on this one the maps are more open-ended. Crysis 2 and 3 feel more like, well, Crysis 2 especially, feels more like open locations united by corridors and loading screens. Crysis 3 does that as well, but has bigger maps. This one is more like, it feels more like Far Cry actually. It's like Far Cry with superpowers in some parts. Far Cry 1, I mean. So yeah, it's more like, it's it's more different like what we're used to. So it's a very different game, but it's a fun game. I know Santiago, he wrote on the screen recommended settings. Yeah, I decided that these are my best settings, but you can lower the draw distances if you want more frames. So yeah, let's do 750 Ti, shall we? So I can finish the live stream. We've been here an hour and 20 minutes. Yeah, Crysis 2 and 3 are way more linear, but they still have some openness to the levels. But yeah, definitely more linear. This is more like, okay, I give you a piece of the island, do the mission that you want, good luck. And you can approach it however you want. Is that a word? Okay, 750 Ti, let's go. Legendary graphics card from 2014. Here it is, the legendary card. Alright, there it goes. Didn't the original use that physics card as well? What do you mean? What do you mean by physics card? Your PCI Express slot must feel so abused. Well, I've been swapping CPUs a couple times in the last 2 years, so it's actually almost brand new on the PCI Express slot. And again, if it breaks, I just get another motherboard. Motherboards are not super expensive here, luckily. I wish. Oh, IGF physics cards? Never heard about that. I'm too young for that. Alright, one sec guys. Almost there. Let me check what were the settings I used back then on day 1. 750 Ti, where are you? There you are. Okay, on the 750 Ti I used what settings? Okay, I couldn't get 60 frames on the 750 Ti, I mean, makes sense. Okay, I use everything on medium, low shaders and low textures. Simple enough. I'll do that. So here we are, 750 Ti, legendary GPU from 2014. So this will be 1080p medium. In the meantime, let's launch the game. So 1080p medium, low shaders and textures. Low shaders, shadows and textures, better said. Okay, that should do. I hope Spectre launches the Windows 11 version, that would be interesting. Although Windows 11, I'm waiting for them to make it mainstream. Right now Windows 11 seems more like a hassle. More than anything else. I mean, they changed the context menu. Hell no. I'm sticking to Windows 10 for now. Okay, medium settings, low shadows, low shaders, and low textures. Hopefully 30 frames per second. 750 Ti driver support stopped yet? No, it hasn't. Ugh. It's probably the next one in the chopping block. Oh, I forgot to... hang on. I forgot to change the save file because you cannot do manual saves. Alright. Copy. Paste. Alright, there we go. Now we have the checkpoint. Yeah, you're here. I am a player. How are you doing, man? Long time no see. Santiago's probably the reason why Asus and MSI has reinforced the PCI armored slots. The funny thing is that helped me quite a bit. If it wasn't for those reinforced slots, I would have needed to change the PCI Express slots pretty often. But luckily that hasn't happened yet. Alright, let's try it again. I'm guessing that it's going to be 30 frames. Yeah, 30 frames. The ideal settings are still working, awesome. Although those textures are pretty low resolution. Oh, never mind, it loaded. It was loading the textures. Come on, load. There we go. Maybe I can do even medium shadows. Let's find out. Okay, I can. So medium shadows are possible. It seems. So low shaders, low textures, the rest on medium, and you should be good. So 1080p, TAA, and advanced options. Low shaders, the rest on medium, low textures, and you're good to go. Could you try high settings but turn off ray tracing? I did that already, multiple times. You don't remember me and I didn't respond to sad noises. Where are you? I cannot read everything, guys, you know that. I'm playing a game while at the same time reading the chat, explaining something, answering questions. Too many things. So apologies if I miss one of your chats. It's difficult to be multitasking. I wish I could move my eyes independently, one looking at chat and the other one looking at the screen, but I cannot. I'm here for bad times and good times. Good, good. That's good to know, man.
Engaged.
Alright, hopefully they don't spot me. Gotta hide. I was expecting this FPS but in low 900p. Well, there you go. The game actually runs better than I anticipated on this card. What is that? There was something clipping through the ground. Anyway.
Engaged.
Lock engaged. So I'm telling you, you don't need to wait, just... Oh yeah, I mean, Ghost Spectre is more like a Windows 10 version with cool utilities that come there. Built in.
Maximum on.
So a lot of stuff you don't need to do manually. Ghost Spectre does not fix Windows issues. He just puts cool tools included with the installation. So it's a hassle-free installation.
Nomad, I'm inside the village. Awaiting confirmation of the target.
Okay, he saw me. Somehow. Recently sub, love your RPCS3 contents. Well, thanks ComicsTube. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm doing more RPCS3 once games stop releasing so close together. And that audio, man, it clips so bad with that explosion. But yeah, on the 750 Ti, you can do 1080p 30 frames on medium settings with low shaders and textures, so definitely a good experience, considering this card is 7 years old.
Got your six, boss.
Is this game still CPU limited? It depends. If you're aiming for 60 frames, it's not using all the threads, so this will probably affect people that have that want 144 Hz. 60 frames appears to be pretty easy, but it's not using all the cores, yeah. All the cores at its maximum potential. So yeah. Still, many things are single-threaded, but that's about it. Even with explosions close to the camera. The explosions though, the audio of the explosions is dreadful. It clips all over the place. A 750 Ti user would probably be using a dual-core CPU, yeah. Yeah, true. Yeah, I mean, a 750 Ti user will be playing at 30 frames per second on a game like this. Oh. I never reload my guns in this game. Holy hell. I'm sloppy. Exactly, and that you can do manually. True. You can do it manually, but it's a pain in the butt. But good to see that this game is now on Steam. And it has the Ascension level that was missing in the original remaster on day one. Currently playing Spider-Man Edge of Time and Uncharted on PCS3 and it runs very well. Well, good to know, man. Enjoy. Those are fun games. Although Uncharted, I got drops into the 20s, so I'm waiting for the emulator to improve. Okay, I think I got him. Oh, yeah, you can do 30 frames just fine, as you can probably notice. Yeah, dual core with hyper threading, probably, if you're a 750 Ti user. Yeah, and you should be basically at 100% CPU usage. But since you're targeting 30 frames, shouldn't be an issue on this game. Although I think you told me that there was an issue with dual cores on this game. But I'm missing something. Oh, another tank. Is Red Dead Redemption running smooth on RPCS3 or there is any other emulators available? Red Dead Redemption 1 RPCS3 is super CPU limited. It's super hard to get Red Dead 1 to get up to 30 frames. Unless you have a super powerful CPU again. But you can also try Xenia, the Xbox 360 emulator for Red Dead 1. But that one uses a lot of GPU as well, so you need to have a good CPU and GPU. So yeah, there's no perfect way to play Red Dead 1 at the moment. It depends heavily on your PC, on what PC you have. The best way to play Red Dead, the cheapest way would be an Xbox One or an Xbox Series S. Those will be the cheapest ways to play the game, since it's 360 emulation. Oh, I was reading chats, I'm not paying attention. Oh man. So yeah, as you can see, 750 Ti is fine. You can do 30 frames. So yeah, that's it for the PC test of Crysis Remastered. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, going to sum up my thoughts on it. So in the options, there's no DLSS, which we don't care about because DLSS doesn't work on the cards we test. On the advanced settings, we have the same options, but they fixed the bug that make the game run worse with shaders on low than on high. Good to see. Then, ray tracing, you can do it on any GPU, but I recommend disabling it. It uses a lot of frames. It uses a lot of GPU, better said. And if you have an RTX card, you can use this experimental boost mode if you have an RTX card, or an AMD ray tracing capable GPU. And well, DLSS, we cannot enable it again. But the game runs basically the same. It has better physics that were not present on day one. It has the Ascension level that was missing on day one. And it's now on Steam, so if you want to play it, it's on Steam now. No longer an Epic exclusive. And the Nouveau was removed. Yes, they removed the DRM. Thank God, finally. So no more the Nouveau. It's on Steam. And what else? Am I missing something? Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention. The game is discounted. If you don't own the game, the original, if you do not own the original game, you can get it for 20% off on Steam right now until September 23rd. And if you own the original Crysis on Steam, you get 50% off until September 24th. So if you want to get the game, I think this is the best time. It's been updated, still not par on par with the original. Some things that were on the original are missing. It seems to be like a mix of the 360 version with the PC version. So some physics stuff is still not the same. And it has ray tracing if you have a capable GPU to do that. But performance, which is what I'm here for, is basically the same. Maybe a couple frames ahead, less stutter, but it's basically the same as before. So yeah, still uses two cores, 3 cores, something like that. But again, less stutter, no DRM, and no longer bugs in the options menu like before. So hopefully they improve that in the future, but right now I'm waiting for Crysis 2 and 3 Remastered. Those will be interesting to check out once they come out. And again, thanks to Crytek for providing a code of the game. See you guys next time. Tomorrow we'll be doing Call of Duty, and I'll be testing Crysis Remastered on the console, on Xbox One S and Series S. I'll show you that super quick before I leave. But yeah, this is it for Crysis Remastered on PC. Again, links in the description if you want to get it. And let's swap over to the One S, to the Series S. So let me show you that. Because they also provided a copy for Xbox, which is nice to see. I could test it on the Xbox. Alright, so I plugged in the Xbox Series S, which has two modes that we're going to try. So yeah, give me one sec. This is elevator music, Mark. Elevator music. Okay. So now we're on the Xbox Series S. Very quickly, just to show you how it goes. So this is a Series S, not to be confused with the 1S. A quick look. As you can see, it loads pretty quick. Let's use the let's save data. Elevation music, no, elevator music. I wish it was elevation music. Everybody would be perfectly fine. Okay, so you have three modes. You have ray tracing, performance, and quality. Ray tracing is what it says here. It's basically 1080p with ray tracing. Then quality is targeting, I think, 4K or 1440p. I need to double check later. And performance is 1080p 60 frames per second. So let's check out the ray tracing mode super quick. Yeah, everybody will be elevated. I am there since 1050 Ti. Well, it's been a while. So thanks for being here. Okay, let's see how it goes on Series S. Oh yeah, of course I was here on Series S. So as you can see on Series S, this is the ray tracing mode. The ray tracing mode, as you can see, those palm trees, even outside of my viewport, have a reflection. I'm guessing this is maybe medium or high reflections on PC. And it's 1080p 30 frames per second with ray tracing on. And there is no audio. Give me one sec. I don't know why that happens each and every time. There we go. I cannot do FPS counter while I'm playing on consoles. I'm doing FPS tests, but separately on the channel. Okay, you should be able to hear that. So yeah, it looks pretty good, I'd say, on the Series S. 1080p, 30 frames, ray tracing, the reflections are there. The global illumination is there as well. So yeah, looks pretty good on the console, not gonna lie. Let's now do the performance mode and the quality mode after. So we gotta go back to the menu, unfortunately, to disable ray tracing. But it's locked 30 frames with ray tracing on, which is good. Let's do performance. Let's see those 60 frames. This is the first time I see you run a console. Well, I'm doing more console comparisons later on. Right now I'm going to be doing performance tests. Okay, so now on the performance mode, this is 1080p 60 frames, but no ray tracing. As you can see, the palm tree we looked at before is not reflected in the same way. And there is missing reflections, although some of them are still there. So yeah. Performance mode again, 1080p, no ray tracing, but 60 frames per second, butter smooth on the Series S. But I think they did a good job so far. Personally, I rather play this at 60 frames than having pretty subtle reflections. Especially on Crysis, that is a shooter. So yeah. On performance mode is great. Although I need to do the performance test. This is looking a little bit too dark. Give me one sec. I messed something up with the capture card. It's looking way too dark. Okay, there we go. That should do. Okay, that's much better. Yeah, not sure why my capture card does that sometimes. So as I was saying, the performance mode, 1080p 60. The game looks good, good shadows. I see no animation for the foliage when I shoot it, which is a downgrade in that regard. Let's try out the quality mode, which will be going over 1080p. So we're back at 30 frames, and yeah, the foliage, still no interaction, but man, the game looks sharp. Holy hell. Yeah, I think this is 1440p. I think the game was targeting 4K even on the Series S, but yeah, this looks super sharp on quality mode. But there's no ray tracing on quality mode. So you have three modes: ray tracing, which is 1080p 30 with ray tracing; performance mode, that is 1080p 60 frames; or quality mode, which is, I think, between 1440p, yeah, something like 1440p at 30 frames per second. So what I'm going to do is record some raw footage and analyze it with teardrop so you can see the FPS and all that. And we compare it against the PC version, which I did. I tested Doom Eternal to check out my skills counting frames with teardrop, and it was fine. So yeah, that's what's coming soon. So thanks again to Crytek for providing both a PC code and an Xbox code, so I can compare them and test performance and all that good stuff. So yeah, good to have options on the consoles. So yeah guys, that's about it. See you in a few hours. I'll be testing this game, but the performance on the Xbox, so hope I see you there. I cannot do real-time testing on consoles as of yet. I need to analyze raw footage, so take some time, but I'll be there. So see you guys next time. Thanks for watching, and thanks for being here. Bye bye. Have a nice day. Have a nice day, guys. See you tomorrow with Call of Duty Vanguard Beta, which will be open to everyone. So bye bye. Thank you. See you next time.